Hey, hey, hey. Good evening, everybody. We're running a little late. I think we're going slow and backwards. Here we are on Live Talk Forum tonight. It is Wednesdays at 7:15 here live on Facebook, as well as at our shopping center, the Institute for Christ Consciousness. Already the lighter isn't working. It's a great start. Anyway, so thanks God for us getting rid of this lighter for the future, or being free of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's show is going to have a lot of cool stuff. This is a show where we answer all your questions. We're saging. We're running a little bit here behind here tonight. We're coming to you live from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Thank you all for coming. As usual, we'll be answering all your questions. And as much as we can, if we don't get them this week, we will answer them for next week. This is a live talk forum of getting answers from higher knowing or God or love energy. This is what we do and teach. This is what the shopping center is about. It is about an alternative way for living your life, but really it's in all of our hearts and all of our souls from the beginning of all time. And it is in all of us, in the grand design of the soul, and in everything that we are and in everything that is God. It is all about love. So tonight's show, as usual, we have a live audience. You can come to our shopping center here and you can see us. And I see all you guys here on Facebook coming to us live. We're working on other things going on that are going to expand what we're doing here for our live talk forum, because we teach love. We teach how to live your life from love, working with God, working with universe, working with angels, whatever name that you want to use, as long as you honor it and respect it and come from love and understand that it is love. Okay, so tonight's show, we're going to answer your questions. Well, I'm sure there will be massive amounts of new and amazing information. We got 2 books for you tonight that it behooves all of us to take a look at as to what is going on in the collective consciousness. And you talk to God about it, because that's what we teach. You talk to love about it. Ask and you shall receive. High-end consciousness, that's what this show is. Getting answers to all your questions, how to live your greatest life by working with love, working with God, working with universe, and the formula of how everything works, both in Saturn's Earth world and everything that is God. This is what we do and teach here. This is what we are here to share with the world on a high-end soul level, so to speak. Like, this is our soul mission. I got to get my rings on yet. As you see, I haven't even begun doing that because I'm ass backwards and sideways tonight. So clear that out, God, and let me get it right. Get my shit together here. Because we were resting this afternoon from our health stuff, because you got to get some rest sometimes. And sometimes we have to clear out this energy of sleepiness, in us. So thank you, God, for that for us. Okay, so thanks also for a fabulous show. You ask and you shall receive. So for the best people, the best questions, the best information, the best answers, the God's honest truth of everything from love, the best solutions, the best of everything we need, wisdom, gifts, tools, love, energy, magic, from love in the purest form, and abundance in the purest form, all in the purest form of love, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. This is what this show is about, and thank you, God, for that for all of us. We will be answering this week's questions, we'll be answering last week's questions, and we will also be talking about these cool books that give you insight into the collective and what is going on with the NWO, the New World Order, the WHO, whatever the hell you want to call it, but it is the darkness, and the books and the people that are the elitists that are in charge of this. We're going to be talking a little bit about these books tonight. In fact, Rachel, could you pass me these 2 books? Because it behooves everybody to take a look at these things. This will really open up your belief system, all right? And this is literally written by one of the guys, Klaus Schwab, who is German, mind you. Not that that's a bad thing, but if you remember, we teach all messages from God and universe. And if you remember, Hitler was German as well. And not that I'm trying to be mean or nasty. Truth is, God shows you the truth of everything in everything. So take a look at this book. It's going to give you insights. In fact, Klaus Schwab, and I don't know how to say Thierry Mallory, all right, these are the authors of this book. But Klaus Schwab, all right, is one of those main people who's in charge of the World Economic Forum and all the crap that's going on in the world, the elitists, the CCP, it's all that's behind our government. I think you guys all know that. But for those of you who need more information and want to get a firsthand idea of the toxic that we're dealing with, it's right here. And he wrote the fucking book, man. And the other one is The Great Reset with Alex Jones, okay? All right, so these people, remember, not everything that you read is the truth. You have to ask God, you have to talk to God, what's the God's honest truth, and you feel in your heart, and the answers will come, and they will come on multiple levels, over and over and over, because when you don't get the message or you don't know the truth, God brings you the answer over and over and over in your reality, in your dreams, in voices, in visions, what you hear, what you know, and top of the line, in all the energy that is God, that is love, that is your emotions, which is the power that fuels and creates everything out here, your emotions, your heart, you will feel the truth always. What feels like the truth to you? Remember that when you're reading these books. If you have any questions for me, if you do read these books, okay? Both of these books. I am not endorsing these books, so to speak, but what I am, this is a great one to get a different kind of perspective on this one, okay? And what is going on in the world. Both of them are fantastic books to read. And if they don't give you chills about the darkness that's going on and cause you to believe in any way, shape, or form, any truths here, then you probably do need psychological counseling. Okay. Truth be told, right? And that said is not to make you feel bad. It's all about the space of God that you're in and helping you to see the truths. It doesn't, I can bring you the truth about everything that I get from God, universe, and love, and you get your own truths as well, based in the God space that you are in, based in the God space that you're in. But know this, giving you these books gives you a different perspective here to take a look at, to get to the God's honest truth, okay? And then you must feel what that is in your heart. Okay. Always. This is what we teach and do. If you have questions for me about it, please ask. Ask God. Ask God. What's the God's honest truth? And always, even when I tell you information, ask your soul. Ask God. Is this the God's honest truth? What Lynn is telling me here? I feel like it is, or I don't feel like it is, but I don't know. So ask. Ask and you shall receive, and the answers will always come in. All right. So this is what that show is all about. If you can share what we do, get it out there, because they're trying to shadow ban us. They're taking down my YouTube videos, all kinds of crazy shit. Of course, because if what we taught was in alignment with them, they wouldn't be taking it down. Do you see what I'm saying? When you teach truth, which is what we're up against, the darkness doesn't want you to know the truth, because if you know the truth, then what happens? Then you're not going to go for the darkness. You're not going to go for the lies, because you are based in truth, and God is truth. God is love. Love is the God's honest truth. It is wisdom, because if you're not living from the God's honest truth, you're living in a less than space of illusions and lies, and then it manifests everywhere out here, okay, in your reality and in the collective, right? So this is super huge. Why this is so important? Because really, this is a massive, massive knowing of universal law and all that is God. You must know that it is, in the old saying, the old world saying, it is what? The truth that will set you free. Not your truth, not my truth necessarily, not her truth, not his truth, not your husband's truth, the God's honest truth. And how you get that is you ask for it. Ask and you shall receive. That's high in consciousness, working with God, working with love, 24/7, as much as possible, and being in your heart. This show is all about this. So check this out, people. You'll get a lot more insight on a different perspective, a different way of saying it than, let's say, I do, and the channeled work that I do here, and in everything I bring to you at this table, or at this forum, right? Live Talk Forum, right? But also know this, that the tools that we teach here are the best tools, hands down, the best of the best of the best, for you to live your greatest life, no matter what comes, no matter what these scumbags here do. And when I call them scumbags, truth of God, is they are darkness. Truth is the truth is the truth. So when I say that, know that. You can say, well, Lynn is judging them. Lynn is calling them a name. Truth be told, if this comes out of my mouth, these are some toxic fucking people, and they wouldn't hesitate to destroy you, and they're on their way to trying to do that, right? Truth be told. So universe calls a spade, okay? If someone's a scumbag, if someone's an asshole, if someone's a piece of shit, they will literally tell me that in those words. And everyone out there, right? A lot of people say to me, oh my God, Lynn, you said that? Oh, you should never say that if you're spiritual. Hey, yes, I should. Yes, I should. If a spade is a spade is a spade, it's a spade. And universe is not going to allow that to come out of my mouth, because every time I ask God to speak through me from love in the purest form, God's honest truth, to help and assist people, everything with everything that I do, everything I am, and in my life. So I ask God for the God's honest truth all of the time. And if these words come out of my mouth, then this is exactly what needs to be said, so that people can understand, on whatever level of God they are in, what kind of energy we are really dealing with. Okay. This said, lots of cool stuff. We're going to do questions tonight. I still got to get my rings on. I'm like behind in my stuff. So get your questions together, people. We answer all the questions. And here on this show, we give you all the tools that you need to live your greatest life, no matter what times, the best of the best of the best, at the top of the line God. And it's not because I thought of it. It's been in us since the beginning of all time. It's the highest end consciousness of all that is God. It's the purest form of love that has these tools for you, that is these things for you. In you. It is you. And it is up to you to grab these tools to live your greatest life and do it. And this is why we do this show, because otherwise you'd be standing here with your pants down, as would I, if I didn't have this God connection, right? And we came here to change this world. And this is all our part in it, so that you have the tools, no matter what happens, metaphysically and in earth world, to live your greatest life and know how to do everything universal law, God, and love. All right? And in Saturn's earth world, because you have to know the dimension you're in and how things truly work to be able to navigate and balance everything that is God along with all of that. Okay. That said, we're going to move on here. Let me see. I have to put on my rings. I'm just going to ask Rachel and Jen, do we have any questions from last week?
Yes.
All right. I think we're going to start with those. Okay. So everybody who hasn't got their questions together, get them together. And thank you all for coming. Thanks for supporting us. And I also have Rachel. Tell me who's here so we can say hi to all you guys, because I can see is up here, and sometimes I can read it, but a lot of times I can't because I'm further away from it. So I want to say hi to everybody. Thank you for coming. If you can donate to, however you do, share what we do, because it's super important so that everybody has the tools to live their greatest life, no matter what comes into the future. Okay? All right. So who's here, Rachel?
We have Sarah Andrews.
All right. Hey, Sarah. Thanks for coming.
Teresa Courtney Lloyd. We have Dee.
Hey, Teresa. Dee.
Steve. Lana Short.
Lana.
Angela Pearl.
All right.
Nikki Opper. Andrew Karate. Sarah Sutra.
Okay.
And I believe I said Angela Pearl already.
I see Mark, I think.
If not, she's on there.
See Mark in there too, I think.
Oh, yeah, Mark's on here too.
Yeah. I'm sure there's more that you didn't even get to, but thank you everybody for coming.
Shanti's here.
Oh, and Jennifer says that Shanti is here. And for those that don't know who Shanti is, this is part of who Jennifer is. Shanti, the unicorn. So, it's really neat. All the energies that we have going on in us, in the portals of our souls, throughout the lifetimes that we lead from different dimensions. And this is where Shanti comes from. Pretty cool shit, right? Yeah. You. What?
Shanti, be you.
Be you? What do you mean?
That's the last
name.
Bijou. Oh.
Bijou. Rachel. I love Rachel. She's fucking talking in riddles again. I'm like, oh my God. What is bijou? Bijou. So we're going to take 10 minutes to laugh here. because Shanti has a last name and it's Bijou, and Rachel. And Rachel fucked it up. So we can't stop. All right. Thanks God for pulling our shit together here. Crazy. All right. Okay. And I'm going to sage again. And where are we now? We got to do questions from last week. Refocus. Thanks God for that for us. Okay. Go ahead.
We have Sarah Andrews from last week.
Okay.
She's asking how to learn and understand and use her gifts. Okay. And she says thank you also for last week's readings, that you were spot on.
Thank you, Sarah Andrews. Awesome. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Always glad to hear it. And it's great for people to tell people that and share that, because then everybody knows in their hearts that we speak truth. It helps to solidify that in Earth World. When somebody says, hey, this is Lynn's right on, or the messages I got from Lynn are they're correct, or they're the truth, So this helps everybody understand the solidity of what we do here in Earth World. Okay. That said, Sarah Andrews, thank you. Thank you. So she has a question from last week?
Yes.
Okay.
She's asking how to learn and understand and use her gifts.
Okay. All right. Thanks God for the God's honest truth for Sarah Andrews. Okay. Basically, Sarah, if you could write a list of what your gifts are, although I can really tell you that you are high in consciousness, just like the rest of us. Whether you're aware of all your gifts or not, you have massive gifts. We all do. We all have these spaces within our souls and portals, just like we talked about Shanti the unicorn. Jennifer pulls out Shanti the unicorn, out of her soul. This is part of her magical energies that she is. You too have gifts that, whether it's mediumship, medical intuitive, dream analysis, multidimensional traveling, alternative healing, energy work. And usually when you have one, you have everything, right? Because it's all about your beliefs. Higher end consciousness has lived the lifetimes, done the work, understands and has the mad skills and gifts of these lifetimes that are these gifts. So you have all these things. So when you say to me, how do I work with those things? How do I awaken those things? And what do I do? You ask God to do those things. That's exactly what I do. Just like I said, how can I assist Sarah Andrews? I said, okay, God, what's the God's honest truth? What's the God's honest truth for Sarah Andrews here, right? How do I help and assist her in the best way from love, right? What gifts, tools, wisdom, knowledge do I need? Each time before the show, and with everything in my life, I want to know something. I'm talking to God. I'm talking to love. I'm talking to universe. I'm talking to angels, always. And this is where all of our answers are, right? Ask and you shall receive. So what's the God's honest truth for Sarah? The God's honest truth is the formula that and this is for not just Sarah, this is for everybody. The formula we teach here. You want to open up these gifts? Thanks God for that for me. You want to see how to use these gifts? Ask God to show you. Ask God to understand them. Ask God to be free from being afraid of them. Ask for all the wisdom that you need all the time, right? So that you understand all that is law of universe and how these things work. How? You don't even have to ask in this way. I just ask God to open up these gifts and lead the way. And thanks God for that for all of us from love. And that it all happens from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. Thank you, God, for that for us. Yeah. Ask. Speaking, feeling, right, is how an emotion, right? Speaking and emotion, this is how you create. Thoughts and words create. If you go back to those spiritual beliefs that they first kind of teach you, words and thoughts create, right? Fueled by emotion. Your intent is everything. When your heart is in the right place, you have incredible magic. So the more you work with God or you work with love, and the more you are in your heart, the more magic you have, the more wisdom you have, the more you are in alignment with the truth, the more amazing things you have across the board everywhere in your life. So ask and you shall receive. You want to be an excellent medium? Thanks God for that for me. You want to be able to see spirits around Shanti the unicorn here? Ask God for that, right? And you don't have to be here to have those gifts, because our beliefs are everything. The space of God we are in and our perspectives and belief systems of what we are capable of seeing dictate what we can do or not. Whether it's sit down and watch a television show, or, vacuum the house and clean the house. Like today, for example, I have piles of mails, packages and shit, bills that I got to go through. And I'm like, mundane earth world shit. We all got to take care of it. I'm just like, oh man. I'm like, and I keep like not blowing it off because I have so much on my plate, but I'm just not getting it done. So when I'm not getting shit done, I'm like, okay, God, thanks for me doing this and this and this and this and this tomorrow and getting it completed. Let me love what I do. Let it go quick and easy. Let it be fast and let it get done. And boom, And so it is done, whether it's vacuuming, cleaning, doing the dishes. And you can even set up time frames for this. You can say, hey, thanks for me getting all this done in an hour. Right? Thanks for elongating the time of the day, right? And you can manipulate time if you ask God for these gifts. You have incredible gifts. The truth is though, can you believe that you do? And can you get in this space, right? The more you do it, just like walking, just like running, just like anything you do, physical and earth world, right? Like Michael Phelps and his amazing swimming. The more Michael Phelps swam and practiced and did his thing and loved what he did in some way, shape, or form, because I know he had some challenges there. He was designed for that destiny. He was designed for that. And he did the work and he had everything he needed, right? And just like that, the more you do it, the more you ask God for everything you need, right? And Michael Phelps won a whole bunch of medals in the Olympics, right? He was pretty fucking amazing. We all are amazing. We all can do everything, but we must get past our bullshit, our belief systems that doesn't believe in us, doesn't feel like we can do it. And the more we work with God, the higher we elevate. And people ask me questions about this all the fucking time. They're like, I want to raise my vibration, Lynn. How do I raise my vibration? And you ask and you shall receive. Sure. That's right. You do. But the more you talk and work with God and love, the more you're going to understand the formula. The more you're going to understand the formula, meaning how universal law of love works in earth world and in everything that is God. And the more you work with love, guess what happens? The more you work with love, the more amazing things happen in your life. And the more you get it, and the more you do it, and the more you raise your vibration, because it happens naturally, right? Whether I ask for the lighter that I was wilding about before, that didn't work, right? Whether I ask for a lighter that works, or I ask for to come from love with my mom in our relationship. You have all the power, all right, to work with this energy to create your greatest reality. And this really is the ultimate formula for how you do it, right? A lot of people say to me, and if you feel you need to take a course with somebody for Reiki or energy work, or have a system and a foundation here in Earth World that is part of this learning, your soul will lead it to you. Whether you need schooling in Chinese medicine, or you need schooling, in Earth World, via college, whatever education or knowledge or wisdom you need to know, universe will bring you to those avenues for whatever it is. However, know this, everything you need is right in here, and it's all about asking and receiving and working with this love energy. This is the highest form of God or love. This is how you get there. You can take all the courses you want, and there's a million spiritual people out there, and they're probably not going to like what I say, but since ever, when did I care about that? Okay, really, right? What I care about is truth of love. You can get on my train and you can be in this space and everybody's harmonious from love. You don't have to. You can do whatever you feel. Whatever space of God you're called in is great. However, right? A lot of spiritual people don't work with God. They don't consciously work with God in the way that we teach and do here. They say, just like in religions and stuff, they say prayers when they're hurting. They say prayers when somebody dies. They say prayers when they're having a rough day, right? Or they don't do it consistently, or they forgot, or they got in a shitty space, or whatever the shit is, right? They're not consciously working with love. It's been the formula from the beginning of time. From the beginning of time. Your heart is the core of the most powerful love that is God of all that exists in this reality. And you have the tools to do everything from that space. And you have the ability to open all these gifts by just asking and receiving. Thanks God for this for me. I have videos from 2018, 2017 maybe, but I know 2018, before COVID-19, and I used to go all around the country, and all the shit that I talk about here and beyond here now, I teach everything God or everything love. And in these videos, you can watch them. They're on YouTube, and not all of them are an hour and 45 minutes like this show, or an hour and a half like this show. So many of them are 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And they're when I was in a different space of God too. But they give you the tools. Just like when you want to know the truth of something, ask God for the God's honest truth. You want to know if your kid is doing drugs, ask God for the God's honest truth, right? Ask God if your husband is cheating. Ask God if you should put your money in the bank. Ask love. Ask angels. Ask and you shall receive when you start doing that. But be prepared, because the truth will come through. I'll never forget that. I can't tell you how many times I've discovered that my kids weren't doing the best things health-wise, right? And messing around with things that they shouldn't. And I knew in my heart that was the truth, but I asked God to know for sure that God's on his truth. Show me, please, God, so I get it. You see? And the same is true with my exes, right? But this is all part of this energy to help and assist us. But when I asked to find out what was really going on, and I found out that one of my exes was cheating, I was like, okay, God, speak through me now, please. Because in my people space, I might get enraged. I might want to kill them. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a million emotional spaces as human beings we can go into. And so be weary. My one shaman that I used to work with years ago when I was in my 30s, she used to always say to me, right? She used to always say to me, Lynn, be careful what you wish for, because it will come true. It will happen, right? And that's the God's on his truth. It might not be in the way that you think. And then when you get the answer, what are you going to do with it? When you have these gifts, what are you going to do with it? And that's why these tools are so super important for everybody. Because when I don't know what to do with something, I'm like, okay, God, what do I do now? What does this mean? How do I handle this? And if I don't have time to ask, I'm like, God, speak through me. Love, speak through me. Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, handle this now, please. Love, handle this now, please. Angels, handle this now, please. And all the solutions that you need will come to you from love. And this is with all of this, because I can't tell you how many people, to give you another example, I see that are counselors and psychiatrists and psychologists, right? And as well as spiritual people who do a variation of the type of work that I do within all of this work, right? Where I help people and I remove habits and patterns psychological energy, right? From their souls that I can put into words and into psychology here in Earth World. I see people who try to remove trauma and PTSD and all kinds of mental unwellnesses, everything from what they believe are curses and all kinds of crazy stuff, but they have no idea how to handle it. And so when they do this stuff and the client starts screaming bloody murder or freaking the fuck out, they don't know what to do. I can't tell you how many times I have people call me and be like, somebody fucked me up, a spiritual person fucked me up because they didn't know what to do and they pulled this shit out and now I'm having all these problems. Or I've had spiritual people call me up and say, how do I handle this? Because the answer is not because I'm better than anybody else, right? The answer is because it's here. Ask and you shall receive. God, handle this now, please. What do I do with my client who's screaming, who's having a breakdown, who is psychotic, who is whatever? Please handle this now, please, from love in the purest form. And so it will be. Amen to that. And this is how I do everything. This is what I teach and do with everything in my life. This is why this show is so important. This includes my God gifts. Like when I went to that house and the ghost got in my car and I started laughing hysterically because I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? Right? I went to a house to ask the ghost to leave because the people were freaking out. And then all of a sudden I said to the woman, I said, yeah, the ghost is gone. And I go out in my truck and the ghost is sitting right next to me. And I just started laughing. I was like, this is fucking crazy. A lot of people are afraid of these things, but I have Saturn in the 6th house. It's very hard to scare me because I have my own demons that I'm working on in here from lifetimes that have scared the living shit out of me far more than anything out here could ever. And that shit as well. I have an innate understanding of this. This is South Node in Scorpio, getting to the bottom of the truth in astrology and in my soul. South Node in Scorpio, massive, massive spiritual gifts from lifetimes. And this is all who all you guys are, whether you have these North and South Nodes or not. It is in your placements. It doesn't have to be exact, right? Exact is a logical earth world thing like science. Don't get me going on science. Give me time, another show. Okay, so, but the truth is, we have all these gifts Sarah, and this is where the answer is. You can look at all my YouTubes from like 2018. There's a lot of shorter ones in there. And this is for everybody here. You don't know how I do what I do, just ask. I've morphed and changed through the years because that's what enlightenment does. As long as you're working with God, you're always going to be growing. That's why also you leave other spiritual teachers and spiritual people and healers, because you can only stay with them as long as you're in a variation of space where they can help you. If they can't help you anymore, your soul's going to be like, I'm out. Whatever spiritual teacher it is, whoever it is. Because the key here is you got to work on your shit, and you got to work with God. If you want to be consistent, that's how it works. God, love, universe, consistently. Okay. And speaking, those are all titles for it, as long as you understand, or names for this energy. Just understand that is love in the purest form that you always want to work with. All right. And so, Sarah, those are your answers. And for everybody, you can go to my YouTubes. And if they do shut down my YouTubes, plus they have the shows here. Let me see. They have the shows that are all the shows here, minus like, I think maybe 3 or 4, because they ripped them off and then threatened me and all this shit. But they are shadow banning our stuff here as well, because we had quite a few watchers, I guess is the word, watchers, people who came on, and we were having consistent more and more people. And in fact, it was in the thousands, and then all of a sudden it dropped off. And why does that happen? Because they're trying to stop us, people that are our people who are in their hearts, because it doesn't matter what religion you are. What matters is that you are authentic in your heart. That is the key to everything. All right. Your God space is your heart space. That's what they're trying to do, to destroy, right? Because then they have all the power, right? That's in their mind. However, this power is all the power, and they can never get to this power in the God space they're in, because this type of power that I have, that you guys have, that anybody who is truly, authentically in their purest form of their heart has, right? Anybody who has this power, right? Basically, let me see how to say this. Thanks God for the best words to say this. This is a power that only comes when you're in this space of love. You cannot get this from being in the darkness, being in alignment with darkness, doing nasty, toxic shit, not having the purest intent, because it happens in that way naturally. That's the grand design of God or love. Super cool shit. Super cool shit. Okay, so I hope that answers those questions for everybody. You can catch all our replays here, because there's massive amounts of information from God, universe, love, and on our YouTubes as well. And is there anything else, God, for Sarah right now? Yeah, you want to open up your gifts, whatever they are, your psychic gifts, your medical intuitive gifts, your dream abilities. Ask God. Ask God. You want to know what dimensions you're going in? You want to know how the matrix works? Yeah, ask God. It may come to you on this show. It may come to you in other books you read with other healers. It doesn't have to be through me, but this is the formula. It is not literally, let's say, my personal formula, although it is for me, right? It is the Christ formula. Highest consciousness, working with God or love. Ask and you shall receive. It's so fucking simple, but it's incredible to me how many people don't get it, can't do it. You see? But this requires sometimes more than often than not, lifetimes. All right? Lifetimes of study. But this is why you're here. If you're on my show and you're watching our shit, then you have that in you and you've done the work. The question is, can you open it up? Thanks God for that for me. And we're all healing our hearts right now in these times. Really the deepest, darkest stuff, the heaviest second house, Taurus shit of our worth, where we don't feel worth anything to ourselves, in ourselves, somewhere in us on a subconscious, energetic soul level. Some of it comes right out and we know it, right? But this stuff is the stuff that we are healing. So you will be able to open and tap into even more gifts, more amazing. Your journey, it's that inner child stuff that I put out there, because it is your inner child that is your purest heart space. That's why everybody loves children and babies. Why? Because babies are creation, literally, in earth world. Babies, man, they're so beautiful. They're so amazing. They're so full of God and light. And children, especially little children, because they're so creative. They're in the zone and everything is fascinating, is pure God energy. It's just like when you get creative and you do something new and you birth an incredible project, right? You do a painting that's so fucking incredible. Just like the stuff I buy at my shop or we purchase at our shopping center, right? Those things, I will go all over the country and I'll find one piece here with one artist, 5 pieces over here with this one over here with this one, because they're all high-end consciousness, just like babies. The person got into that space of God and was in the zone. Just like when you hear great music, right? Like, if you ever watch Steven Tyler get in the zone, oh my God, right? You can see this. You can't miss. This person is channeling. And this is the creative God space that is your heart, that is where your inner child is, which is where your destiny is, and your dreams, which is why we have to heal the second house, which is our heart. Our heart. But it's not necessarily in the way that you think through lovers and relationships out here. It's through the relationship that you have for yourself, with yourself. Where do you not love you in the deepest, darkest depths of your soul? Just like I talked about those sirens being next to us, those siren hair people being, next to us in our one of our spaces here, okay? And they were toxic and they did all this nasty shit, and universe said to me, this is the demons. They are sea witches. These are some of the darkest, nastiest demons with void, like bottomless souls of black for themselves and for others. This is the shit that I'm healing in me and that we're all healing in ourselves. It's no accident. These nasty fucking sea witches were right next to me in my space, and they were trying to do all this nasty shit to us. And I'm like, fighting with these people on a spiritual level on and off the whole fucking year, with all the shit that I've told you that we've been through. And then finally, I get it. I'm like, fuck, man. This darkness that is in them is in me. It's just not in the same way that one would think. For me. Rough shit, huh? This is why we're all here on this planet. Because this darkness that's out here mirrors the darkness that's in here. And we came here to fucking heal ourselves first. What a journey this is, isn't it? It's fucking fascinating. Love this shit we do. I fucking love it. It's incredible stuff. And it is infinite. Infinite. So Sarah, and everybody, I could go in 15 million more directions with this stuff, but this is what we're doing. We're healing our souls. The more we heal this energy, right? And it connects to the second house, which is Taurus. And you think about that, the bull, it's the heaviest, deepest, darkest voids. And Leo, the lion, right? The lion in the 5th house is the self, the creative space. It is the house of children and your inner child. All right. And the 2nd house is your self-worth. These are all components in astrology that teach you about your soul, your psyche here in Earth world, and all that is astrology and all that is God and all the design of all that is love. Incredible, incredible wisdom is in here. This is why God has brought us to these avenues so we can bridge the gap of spirituality with Earth world through astrology. Okay, but we do God astrology, working with God all the time and working with astrology and everything that is God and love and universal law and Saturn's Earth world, as well as metaphysical, all that is God, to bring you these answers and the tools, the best tools and understanding of ourselves, of each other, of this reality, and the work that behooves us to do here and what we came here to do and to live, to have fun, to be in our hearts. This is what it's all about. Okay, what are you laughing at, Shanti?
Oh, just comments. People commenting on different things.
Okay. So Shanti, my sister here, is laughing at as crazy comments people putting up, which are cool comments people putting up. Okay. So thank you, Sarah Andrews. Let me see. And Rachel, who's next?
Jen's got next.
Oh, Jen's got next one.
Kinsey is next. She said that things are just crazy in her life right now, and if you don't mind, she'd like you to do a solar return chart read so you can, or she can know what to better expect.
Got it. All right. Let's see. Okay, so did you hear that, guys? Kinsey. Hi, Kinsey. Thanks for coming. Yes, everybody's lives are wildly crazy. Whew, exhausting in these times. All right, so what is her birthday?
I Hang on, I gotta pull it.
It looks like I believe it's like Libra. Is it the 14th of October?
No, I believe it's the 8th, I think. Hang on.
Oh, it might be the 8th. All right, we're just looking it up, people. All right, so we got Kinsey's chart here, but this is her solar return chart. Just to give you a briefing, solar return is your astrology for the year. It doesn't take away your other traditional astrology and all the layers that are you and your soul that are all part of astrology. Your progress chart, your subconscious chart, your traditional natal chart, your transit charts on all of these things. All right, so there's so many layers of you. Your solar return chart starts every year on your birthday. And it traditionally there, but the energy starts a couple months before and goes a couple months after, just like Mercury retrograde. There's a shadow period of it. So Kinsey is asking me to take a look at her solar return chart for this year because she has a lot going on, and she has this right here, which I'm going to take a look at. But I was just asking when her birthday is.
Yes, October 8th.
Okay, so her birthday is October 8th, and this is for 2022. Okay, so this is for this year that's coming ahead, correct? If you could just answer that and send that to Jen or post it up here. For this birthday, that just happened, 2022 to 2023. Your next chart will start on your next birthday, October 8th of 2023. Correct me if I'm not correct, okay? And I'm going to tell you about this energy here. So for this year, what you have in your chart, I'm gonna show you guys. If you want to take a screenshot, anybody, maybe you can follow along and see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna hold it up for a few minutes. All right, this is Kinsey's chart. Hopefully I can hold it still. Thank you, God, for that for me. All right, so we can hold it still. All right, so what I'm looking at here, Kinsey, in your, so you have your traditional natal astrology. Always you have your subconscious soul and your progressed soul. Those are the three biggest ones, like your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. All right. So, those are like a main core of everything going on in you. This said, this year you have this, you have a Leo ascendant. And let me just take a look on where your moon is for this year. Your moon is in, let me see. Your moon is in Pisces. That in itself, that's some rough emotional shit. All right, Pisces moons are some of the roughest moons to handle. All right, because this is really going to affect your subconscious soul. A water moon is your subconscious soul. It's governed by Cancer to begin with. So there's going to be a lot of emotional stuff coming up. But this is to heal you. This is the very things that we were talking about. This is all part, the grandest part of your destiny, actually, for all of us, is to heal ourselves, okay, and live our greatest lives. So that said, yeah, you have your moon in Pisces for your solar return. I'm seeing some other thing come up here. You know what I'm talking about. Somehow I'm getting a message that's blocking my chart that Rachel's sending to Jennifer, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is it we say, Rachel? Winners tonight. Winners.
In Rachel's defense, that's my fault. I didn't do not disturb.
All right. So they're fucking with my chart here, these people that I'm trying to read. Okay. So, thanks God for bringing me right here. So what I was going to say, Kinsey, is you have your moon. Let me just get my water here. I think I need to get water. You have your moon in Pisces, and I believe it's in the 8th house. Hold on a minute here. Your traditional, hold on one second. So hold on, let me just see here. Yeah. Okay, so your traditional, here's the deal, Kinsey, with free of these interruptions. Thanks God for bringing me back. So your traditional, in your natal chart here, You have your ascendant in Leo. Your actual ascendant this year is actually in Gemini. All right. It's in Gemini. Okay, so your ascendant for this year is in Gemini. Gemini is great for communication, intellectual thinking, but here's the challenge. Sometimes Gemini can be two different people. Okay, a lot of us, if you know Gemini personalities, or Sag Geminis, or have prominent Gemini placements, they're known for, especially powerful Gemini placements are known for being two different people. That's why they're called the twins. So you might find this year that there's another side of Kinsey, and that's also going to come in with the Pisces moon, because your solar return moon is in Pisces. This is your big three. And then of course your traditional, your sun is always going to be in your sun sign, which is in your Libra energy. Okay. But you have your moon in your Pisces in the 8th house, which is massive transformation. And then you have Neptune on top of that, conjunct your moon. Well, Neptune is the ruler of Jupiter, Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. And then let's see, you even have Jupiter. You have Jupiter in Aries right now. It's gone into Aries, which is wild for this year. All right. This is so big action is going to take place in your life this year, because you have Jupiter going into Aries in the 9th house, which is your freedom placement. So you're going to free yourself from a lot of emotional shit going on this year. This is why it's so chaotic. Aries is about action, one thing after the other after the other. It is the warrior. All right. It is about being in your heart for you. And this is your journey, a big chunk of your journey for this life, in this year, about it, because it will be about healing your heart. That's part of the reason, a big part of the reason your ascendant is Leo. Leo is all about the heart, okay? And your descendant is Aquarius. It's balancing the head and the heart. It balances Lumaria, and it balances Atlantean energies, okay? So this is a big part of really your healing. All right. And this said, you're going to have lots of emotional challenges, lots of tears, lots of crying. You're going to find you're going to be a lot more emotional than usual. All right. Crying a lot. Pisces is a very emotional energy. Lots of tears, lots of water energy, lots of feeling like never before. Feeling really intense emotions, and feeling these emotions, which can, and then having Neptune conjunct that, heavy shit. All right. So that's like double, quadruple moon. And then the moon is ruled by Cancer, and then put that in the 8th house with Scorpio ruled house, right? Which you have it in Pisces right now for your, solar return, where it hits everything, in your natal. Okay. Wow. So this is going to be a year of massive emotional healing and transformation for you, which is coming right to your rising sign, which is in your heart. And it's wild that your first house will be in Libra. It'll be about the relationship. People think, oh, it's about relationships. And Libra is such a social, diplomatic energy. And while it is, and it's a beautiful thing, it's about relationships. It's about relating. Here's why your ascendant is there. It is because it is about your relationship with you, relating to you. Okay. So this is about healing you. Okay. That said, you also have, let's see. Yeah. Healing you emotionally, the 2nd house, let's see here what we have for your 2nd house. You have Cancer. You have Mars in your 1st house in Gemini. So you're going to be dealing with lots of gossip, lots of backstabbing, lots of crap said. If you're not already dealing with that, there's going to be challenges this year with that. Having Mars in Gemini. This is some of those demons that you're asking about, to give you an idea, but it doesn't mean that overall it's a bad thing. You can look up Mars in Gemini. It'll give you an idea of the placement, but all these things that I'm telling you are going to go on throughout the year. These are very, very challenging times, but we came in here to do this work, and we came in here to be on solid ground in ourselves and our souls. Okay. Okay. That said, so this is all part of the grand design to heal you. This is why your soul called this in. Okay. This said, your Second house here is in Cancer. So I do feel your second house is about healing your heart. So this is about family stuff, family, the way your family treats you. You're going to have a lot of challenges here within yourself as well as out here in the outside world for this year. You have your Black Moon Lilith in Cancer for the year. That's all about family stuff. Read into Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. Read into Mars and Gemini, because these are the placements. And don't just read one. Read a whole bunch of them that come up on the internet. You Google it. What is Mars in Cancer? Mars in Cancer natal. All right, Mars in Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. So look at these things. All right. Also, you could Google, you have your third house in Cancer as well. You have your second house, and those are the cusps, Cancer and Gemini. All right, but you have a lot of Cancer energy in your second house, and this is all designed to heal your inner child, your family stuff from this lifetime into the past, so that you can get to where the person that you truly are in your heart. Okay, so this is really big stuff here for you this year. Lots of chaos, yes. Interesting enough, you have a shit ton in your natal fourth house. A lot. So when you have a lot, there's a lot to do there. So your fourth house is your house of family. It is about your family lineage, your IC, your ancestors. It connects with your 10th house. It is also about your inner curses, so to speak, your demons, the things that you brought in that are in you with your family. You have a lot of stuff from lifetimes. You are a very, very old and gifted soul, but I don't got to tell you that. I think you know. And what's wild is the fact that it's in Scorpio tells me that. That's some rough stuff. All right, there's a lot of big secrets in your family, a lot of big secrets in you that will be discovered through the processes through this year and into the future. The next 2 to 3, and the 4 is the number of completion. So this is some big healing going into the next 4 years for you, for me. Mine is coming out in my physical health, all right? And it always is going to come out in your reality as well, because everything physical, right, is really metaphysical. And this is true, and your chart will lead you to these things to understand them in a different way, and you can clear out these demons and the things that are going on here with all of this. All right, demons meaning just stuff that doesn't help us. All right, our energies that are stopping us from being our greatest selves, and causing all the troubles and the difficulties and the things that you have going on in you, and we're all going through it. It's all about where we're not in our hearts. And again, this is why in your natal chart you have Virgo in the second house, because Virgo is the sign that's known as like the emotionless sign, but it's also the perfectionist. So this tells me huge about you. Where are your emotions for you? Where are you a perfectionist, that everything has to be perfect and that you have to be perfect or you're not good enough? There is no such thing as perfect. Yeah, heavy shit. And girl, you, me. We all the same energy, this beautiful, amazing art space. Yeah. So lots of challenges this year, but Kinsey, there will be lots of great things as you do this work. Wonderful things will happen for you. You look at your part of fortune, and your part of fortune in the transit is in the 7th house going into the 8th. All right. It's like in between that. It's this little X with the circle, if you guys can see it in the orange right there. Okay, see it? It's like right there. And it's between the 7th and 8th house this year. So that tells me about Sagittarius. Your freedom from these demons in your heart is in higher knowing of God or love. That's Sagittarius, okay, in its healthiest space. And it's right on the cusp of Capricorn, which is the 8th house, and also the 8th house, the 7th house, and the 8th house. So it's in both of these houses, the energy. And Capricorn is your universal law governor here in Earth world. And Capricorn is the governor also because it is the taskmaster. It brings you to the space of self-love for you when you won't address it, because this is all part of the grand design of God in Earth world. And a lot of people don't don't care for Capricorn, but it shows you the truth about you, and it keeps you in alignment really with universal law. It's about honor. It's about integrity. It's about respect. It's about accountability. It's about doing the right thing from love, but it's all about it for you first. It is law of universe here in Earth world. It governs time. It governs karma. Okay. And it is also about your 10th house. And Capricorn is the ruler of your 10th house. As you heal this, wonderful things will be coming for you in your career, in freedom from all the things that have tormented you in your life as well. The 7th is that house of relationships. This is where that part of fortune is. And the 7th and the 8th house is transformation. That's Scorpio, getting to the bottom of the truth of what's going on in your heart and in you and in your soul, and healing that and being free from any kind of demons. When I say demons, I'm not talking about the way people think about demons in Earth world, like, oh, a demon got on me and I have to get rid of it and I'm cursed. No. This is about the stuff in your soul so it's like, it's not literal demons. It's your stuff that is toxic or unwell and stops you from you being in your heart for you, from you loving you being in your dreams. So as this is healed, you're part of fortune. Okay. You're part of fortune. Is where is the space that you make your money, right? Your destiny is in your part of fortune. What is the best spaces that is in alignment with your destiny to make your best fortune? That's why it's called the part of fortune. Okay, it is actually a mathematical placement. I think it's an Arabic one, if I'm not mistaken, an Arabic mathematical placement. In traditional astrology, that's what they teach. But this tells you the answer to getting to these wonderful jobs, the wonderful abundance, and all the things that you've wanted in your life that we all want for ourselves. Beautiful, amazing gifts and of great abundance. Okay, so this is about healing you, working on you, and the more you do that, the more doorways will open up for your career, and the less garbage and drama and Mars and Gemini that you'll have to deal with, and the illusions of having a Neptune conjunct your moon and Neptune and moon in Pisces. Those illusions and delusions are tough, here in Earth world. This is why what's going on is going on, because Neptune is in Pisces, and it's all about delusions and smokescreen and fog, and it is your Capricorn energy, your earth energy, that keeps you solid grounded. Neptune is a water energy, all right? So, and it's super emotional. It is all the emotions of the ocean. So it's going to be a challenging year, but with all the gifts and skills and tools that we teach here, you can do anything, right? And you can change everything. Ask God. Do what we teach. Ask universe. Ask to be free of this. Any challenges you have, ask love to handle it. Ask love to be free and put the best way to be from love in place of this. And thank you, God, for this, for Kinsey and all of us from love. So we all have the power here, Kinsey, but it will be challenging. This is why we do this show, because you're not alone in this crazy world, right? And so you're not alone, and lots of good things are coming, but for all of us. And this is Kinsey's chart. While this is her solar return chart, we're all going through it at different levels at different times in the next 2 to 3 to 4 years, as the next completion of energy happens within the stars, as we move more into and towards Aries energy. Okay, and let me just see. Aries is action energy. You're going to start to really see it manifesting, all this stuff manifesting in your world, how you feel about you, less challenges. You will know, and we're all going to go through phases of this with the grand plan of the collective consciousness. Okay, and let me just see here. Is there anything else for her? And definitely, what's wild, girl? You have your North Node in Taurus and your South Node in Scorpio. That's me. Same shit. Okay, so look up those placements. Okay, this is your Jackie Onassis placement. What is that queen that's in Russia? That got demoted and throughout Russian history? Is it, what I'm talking about?
I do, but I don't know.
I can't think of her name, but man, what a life, what a rough life. And so, but you have all the power to power through it. You have all the gift of incredible heart and God gifts and tools. We all do. And I see yours as in your North and South Node. Those are your destinies. Those connect to your moon. So look up these placements as well. Powerful stuff for you this year. But don't forget, you have incredible, incredible gifts. Yeah, and you have all the power. All right, girl? All right. So, hope you enjoyed your reading. You have things to look into. And the more you work with God, the more you do what we teach here, work with love. Ask and you shall receive. The more you have all the power to govern and make your chart or your destiny or this energy work for you from your soul and what your soul is doing consciously. Walter Russell, I work consciously with God. That's what he says or said. I work consciously with God. The difference between me and the world is that I work consciously with God. That's what he did. Look up Walter Russell, people. Another good book for you. He has got a whole bunch, and learn about him and his destiny and his journey. He was along the lines of the time period with Nikola Tesla. Okay. Not Elon Musk. Nikola Tesla and, that era in time, huge, incredible wisdom, amazing stuff. So if you work consciously with God, whoever you are, this is how you have all the greatest gifts. And you can, I don't want to use the word manipulate, work with this energy and create and do incredible, amazing things. Okay. All right, Kinsey. So that is not who you are. This is part of who you are for this year. This will be heavily influencing you this year. Okay. And this is so for your best journey, for your best life. It's for everything that you've asked God for is why this chart was created for you. And all the things that you're going through are part of that grand design because universe, God, and love does not do anything that is not what is best for you. Even when we have a rough time and don't believe it, ask God that you do believe it, that you do see it. What do you need to know about this? Because that's all wisdom of universal law for your greatest gifts and tools into the future as well, to learn how to work with energy and this energy and everything that we teach. Okay? Love you, girl. Many blessings and have a great year. Thank you, God, for that for her and all of us. Thanks, God, for that for us. Okay. Who's next?
Lana Short.
All right, Lana. Hey.
She said there are issues at her job that pertain to her. She's wondering how she can stop or resolve them. And she's also asking if someone is thinking about moving in with her.
This is like I feel like we're doing cryptic. It's like this is kind of happening. Can you tell me about this? This is kind of happening. Can you tell me about this? All right, God, what's the God's honest truth here about what's going on with Lana Short? God's honest truth, what's going on with her work and the issues at work pertaining to her. So she said she's having issues at work. What's the God's honest truth? Best gifts, tools, solutions from love energy. Thank you, God, for these gifts for her now, please. And for all of us now, please, from love in the purest form, and this reality, any reality, and all it is. And thank you, God, for that for us. Can you say, what is her question? Yeah, I just want to make sure I know.
She said there's issues at her job. How can she stop or resolve them? That's her first question. And then her second question is if someone is thinking about moving in with her.
Okay, issues at your job. All right. So there's a couple different things that you can do here. First things first, when I want to be free of something, I ask God to be free of it. Thanks God for that for me. I don't curse at it. I don't get shitty with it, right? I ask God to be free of it and I let go of it. And I ask God that I'm happy no matter what happens. And I ask God also what in me is creating this to happen. All right. Why is this happening in my life? And if it's tormenting or toxic, or even if it's good stuff, show me where this is in my chart. Show me where this is in me. What do I need to do to clear it? Clear it out of me now, please, and put the best way to be from love in the purest form in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us. Okay. So thank you, God, for this for Lena. And so this is how you do that. Okay. You will be free. Let go, let God. Anything that comes up with the issue with this, ask love to speak through you, ask love to handle it. So if you're at work and they start grilling you with whatever this is, ask love to speak through you and ask love to handle it the second they come over there. You don't have to say it out loud. You just do it in here. You have a whole subconscious connection, just like there's multiple dimensions of God that people can't even say. This connects to this, okay? All right? And you have the power to work with that energy. Every time people see me and I'm, they don't think I'm praying and I'm doing stuff, I'm talking to God all the fucking time, all the time. So, know this for you. We all have these powers, and this is what we're talking about. So ask love to be free of it. Ask love for the best outcome. Ask love to speak through you, and all what you need to say will be said, and it will all be resolved. Ask love to resolve this, to be free of this. And if it doesn't go in the way that you think it should go or expect it to go, ask love, all right, to when that happens, ask love to be free of that. All right, to be free of that, the beliefs of it has to be this way, and ask love that you're happy no matter what happens, because ultimately, again, universe has your best interests always at hand. So whatever happens in this reality, even like when I talked about that court case that we have to go back to and revisit sometime to explain more about into the future, because it's fascinating, right? But that during that time, I was like, fuck, God told me I was going to win that case. I was going to win that case, and I didn't win it in the way that I thought logically in Earth World. But then universe kept saying to me, you're going to win, you're going to win. And I'm like, because I'm like, I couldn't understand it. I couldn't get it. How did you tell me this? And then this happened and I lost it. And the people lied, and it was like it was a real fuck storm, but it was fascinating journey, fascinating learning. I did win. I learned so much from this experience about Earth World, the court system, people and lies, and how the court system works, as well as universe still said to me, you did win, because what happened in this courtroom may be something that I work with in the future for whatever is coming in my future destiny. And even though I might not have won this case in the way that I thought, universe has a bigger plan for me, for the energies and the gifts and the tools I'm going to need for my future with whatever comes, and it relates to that court case. Fascinating shit. Now I'm asking God because I see it coming and it's on the horizon, because remember, I'm psychic. And you are too. So I see what's coming on the horizon with this, right? And I'm asking God to be free of it, because I know it's going to turn into a fuck storm. I just sent a registered letter yesterday, or today really, on what's coming. Okay, I sent a registered letter. All right. And I know that the shit is going to hit the fan. I can already feel the energy, right? But the people who I'm working that this has to do with me, all right, they've had plenty of time to work on the things that they need to work on, and they're not getting back to me. And so I sent a registered mail. And so this is all part of that. And I can see the horizon, but I don't want to go to court again. I don't want to have a battle, but I know it's coming. And I'm going to need what happened in this court case that I lost, which will help me over here. But never would I have thought of that in a million years unless I ask God and work with God and understand it. And, and then of course in my people space, I was butthurt. I'm like, how could I not win? I'm in the God space. I'm like, fuck, part of my learning, part of my healing, part of my clearing, part of my journey to heal and change and free myself from any kind of toxic with all of this. But I expected it to go this way, and it went a different way. And then I got the shit on in me because I was angry and I was upset, and that's part of our people space, and I clear it out, right? And I work with God to change these things, because if I don't change this in me, this is going to continue to bring issues and problems for me. So your best way to deal with this, Lena, is to ask God to be free of it and do all these tools that I just prior told you here when we were talking in the beginning. Ask God for these things. This is the best way to do and handle this. When you ask me, is somebody thinking about moving in with you? I feel like you're picking up on that energy. The answer is yes, they are, but they're really not solid in that space. Just like I talked about the Pisces moon, it's water. Water is constantly fluctuating and moving with the tides. So it's nothing solid as of yet, as of now. So they're thinking about it. I feel like you're psychic too. You're picking up on it, but it is not solid for you right now, or not solid, meaning it's not going to manifest in this reality at this time. But they're thinking about it, you're picking up on it, and for whatever the reason, universe wants you to know about this. So it's important. It is something to do with your life. It is absolutely important that you know that they're thinking about it. But now you can take this and talk to God about this as well. What's going on here, God? Is this going to happen? What do I want to do with this? And then what is it that you want to do? Because your energy is just as important here in creating this person to move in as well. This person is in the water wishy-washy, like water. They're in, they're out. They're not, they are, So what does Lana want? Because you got to get clear with what it is that you want. Let me see. With this, same thing at work. You want to be free of this? Be clear, be solid in this space. The toughest way, where people say to me, they call me up and they say, well, your prayer isn't working. The prayers that we did aren't working. Right? It's because they don't know what they want. They're not really in it. Their heart isn't in it. They're not sure. They're afraid. Got to clear these blocks out, because otherwise it's a wheel that turns and turns and turns and turns and turns and never moves forward. So, and then they say to me, well, your prayers aren't working. Wait a minute. God always answers our prayers, and they always work. If you feel like you're not working, or they're not working, or you're not getting what you want, all right, or how you think it should be, or what you expect, why is that? You, all of us, need to ask God or love why that is. What's the truth about what's going on here, God? What's going on in me that's creating this? What's going on out here? What do I need to know? How do I change this? And thanks God for that for me now, please, from love. You see? So you have all the power. This is the reading that comes in for you tonight. Lana. And is there anything else? No, they're telling me you got everything you need. All right, girl. Much love. All right. What do we got next? Jennifer.
You have Nikki. She's calling in. She said her question was really complicated, so I just told her to call in.
All right. Hi, Nick. I'm good. I just got to turn the volume up.
Okay.
All right. Can you speak?
Talk loud.
What?
I can talk loud.
Okay. Hi, guys. Nikki's calling in. Like we tell you, you can call in too. You were cool with that, right? Nice of me to ask after. All right. So Nikki's here with us. I'm just going to put her right here on the thing. You can see me okay, right, Nick?
Yep.
All right. So she has a question. She says it's complicated. Go ahead, Nick. What's going on?
So as you know, I work in fraud. And when working in fraud, I come up with a lot of people who have multiple aliases. Today I had my first transgendered person, and their birth name came up with a hit with 8 different names. And then he transitioned into a woman and then changed his name to a woman's name, and that's like the last alias. My question is like you've talked about multiple times about how the energy or a name has power and a name has energy, and the more names that you have, kind of the more complicated the energy can be, and it's things that you come in with. Does that apply for people who have aliases, and do they still keep all of the energy of their original name if they like transitioned into another person? Do all the names count?
All right. So all those names are basically the names of the people that this person has been, you're saying?
Correct.
Okay. So did everybody, I just want to ask real quick, did everybody hear Nikki's question? Because I feel like it's kind of like on low volume. So if you guys could just let us know, and I'm going to start answering it. So, so Nikki, you are asking me if all the names on this form that you have is this person's, right? Okay. They have changed their identity multiple times. And you're saying that I said in the past that all these names, they carry the energy of those names with them, right?
Correct.
Right. So when you have all these names, the more names that you have, the more of these different energies you carry with you. So the answer to that is yes, all those energies are still within them unless they start working with them and working with themselves, right? Working, not with themselves, but working on themselves, right? Working on themselves, working with God, doing what we do, or working, to heal themselves in some way, shape, or form. Or when I say heal themselves, working on themselves. Otherwise, that energy is definitely going to stay in there. The fact that there's multiple names lends itself to multiple personalities, multiple psychological issues. All right. Multiple, if it's a case of, are they transgender or what's going on?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he transitioned into a she
Yep.
in their 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally think they changed genders so they can get away with their rap sheet.
Right, become a new person, right? So, but right there, what you're feeling is not necessarily a lie. There's truths in that. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're picking up on that. You're super gifted. You're psychic. You're spiritual. You do this work. So there's truth in that. That there is definite truth in that. But it's not like in Earth World you can say anything about it technically or want to call anybody out. It's not your job. Your job is just from a place of understanding. This, what do you do with something like this? And you're asking for your own best wisdom. What's going on here with this person? So, right? Is that right? Yeah. So you've picked up on this. So that's true. The fact that there's so many different names, there's so many different changes identity. This is a person who's seriously confused. But this is also truth in what's considered I think it's the LBGBQ energy or what they have out here today. It really is. Everything is what's going on metaphysically in your soul. Okay? So you know that. Are you talking to me? Okay. All right. So everything that is out here manifests from in here. So there is some really big psychological stuff that is manifesting in a way that is coming through in the energy here in Earth World, in the LBGBQ, if I said that right, community, because the person seriously is not well. It doesn't mean that all of these people are not well, but being what you're telling me here and what universe is telling me as well, this is what's going on. There's multiple identities. There's shadiness in here. There's toxic in here. There is a lot of mental issues. Okay. And they're all being generated in different directions here within this space. Okay. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
So there's a lot of healing for this person to do on their soul. Anytime, truth be told, anytime you start going they, them, there's confusion in basically what is going on in you. There absolutely 110% is, because you is an identity. Okay? They, them, me, there's confusion in the identity. When you say they, them, right there, that lends itself and metaphysically to multiple people, multiple personalities. They, I want to be known as they, then they literally is multiple. Them literally is multiple. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean I'm judging this. I'm telling you the truth metaphysically from love, higher knowing. All right. So it doesn't mean I'm bashing the community or anything like that. This is talking about one individual and where these references go based in the coding, or coding meaning CODEING or CODING. Coding mean the metaphysical laws of universe. Do you understand that? Okay, I hope you guys understand that too. If you don't, please ask. Any of this you don't understand, please ask. There are healthy spaces of everything and everyone in every space in all that is God, including LBGBQ. Or if I said that right. I'm always fucking it up. Clear that out, God. All right. With that, so there's healthy spaces of everything that is God, and you will know when you meet the individual on an individual basis. But there will always be wisdom by what happens. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about coding or universal law, right? The messages are in everything. They're in the words that people use. They're in the actions that they do, the clothes that they wear. You know, like there was one guy on the internet that was literally a fawn, like a deer. I mean, there's all kinds of bizarre stuff out there. And I don't care who you are or what you are. You cannot tell me that that is from a psychologically well place in your soul. Not, truth be told, right? It's there's a positive, healthy space of everything in the world, but you will see this manifest in people's behaviors all over the place in sexuality, because sexuality in Earth World is really getting into a God space of creation, as well as, your identity. People who get lost and don't know who they are, boom, They go right into their sexual space for their identity. Now we're talking about advanced soul psychology or people's psychology. What's really going on in the soul. And each case is individual. But when I speak of the general community and how things work, that's Capricorn's earth world, law of universe, and how things work in that space. And I know plenty of people who are they, them, and they ask me to say they, them, and honor them. And I will honor you by your name. I will honor you from whatever space God chooses through me or guides me to honor you. But when I'm going to be forced to say, when they say, you have to call me they and them. Oh, no. You don't get to choose for me the language that I use in reference to you. You don't. Do you understand that? Because this is my journey. I can honor you when I speak to you from love by asking love to speak through me. Okay. And you may, and whoever that is, if they want to be called they, them, or whatever it is they want to be called, and you don't honor them in that space because those do not go with your beliefs. You don't give in and do it because that's what they want. No, you have to honor you first. So if there's any issues within these spaces, ask love to handle it. Ask love to speak through you. Do you see? And you will come up with the best way to communicate and with them that will be in the healthiest space of love that honors you and honors them as well in all ways. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, because forcing somebody to call you or speak a particular language is not in the highest code of ethics with Capricorn's earth world, nor is it from love in the purest form in all that is love or God in universal law. Do you see? Yeah, and hopefully everybody else gets that as well. If you have any questions about this, this is not about a derogatory place or space of being against or the LGBTQ stuff. A lot of this stuff has literally been facilitated through the propaganda and through the school systems, the colleges. It is a lot of this is madly part of the darkness to get people to be against each other, to be toxic, to be unwell, to take over the world. This is all part of that grand design. It doesn't mean that there isn't a healthy space of people inside those spaces. There can be and absolutely is. However, this is part of the darkness to fuck up all the systems, just like the black and white stuff or the ethnicity stuff, the religious stuff, the sexual stuff, your sexual identity. All this is part of the grand design to destroy society, America, earth world, families, heart spaces. This is truth of God and love. And if you don't believe, ask God, is this the God's honest truth? And also ask for the best way to understand it if you don't understand it. Because we only just touched on this based on one question that Nikki had, right? And given these are all the words, all of the energy that comes through God, through me, to share and teach with you guys to get the best understanding in this moment of this. Do you see what I'm saying? So do you have any more questions with this, Nikki?
No, that was cool. And this person really was complicated because they had at least 8 different names and birthed in other countries, birthed here in the U.S. So this person,
wow,
different birth years.
Wow. So each time they took a new name, they were birthed in another country?
They only picked 2 different countries overall.
Okay.
This person tweaked their name, changed things around, had whole different first names. Their original name was like 5 names to begin with, so it was already complicated.
Yeah. But see, all this stuff that you're telling me tells me literally here in Earth World that they're not well. They're not well. Right? And you feel that in energy. And that's also why you're asking about it, to get validation and understanding of what's going on here. So you can understand people. Why? Not to be mean, not to be shitty, but to understand psychology and people and the soul and all that is God, so that you can learn for you as well as live your best life. And when you're presented with situations like this, you will better know what's really going on and how to handle it. Do you see what I'm saying? Both in Earth World and within all that is God. Do you see? And that's for all of us. All right, so go ahead. More?
Yeah, okay. I thought it was ironic that their charges were based off of like fraud and identity.
Okay.
So they stole from others their identities as well.
Right. Okay. So see, and here you go. So you tapped right into it. That apparently this person stole identities and stuff. So this is about, not only is this just about the LBGBQ stuff and all the stuff that we talked about, now it's about deviant stuff. You know what I'm talking about? And this is another layer within this person's psyche and all that they are. I can't hear you. Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay. Okay. So does everybody here understand that? And if you don't, please ask. Please ask. So you good or you got more to this? You good, Nick?
I am. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Nikki. All right. We're going to say bye to Nikki. Say bye to Nikki.
Bye, Nikki.
All right. All right. Thank you, Nikki. Okay. So do we answer questions all from last week and now we're on this week's?
Yes.
Okay. Who is next and what time are we at?
It's 8:40.
Okay.
And Jennifer's next.
Jennifer's next. Jennifer has a question. It's 8:40, so we're going to finish with Jennifer's question, I think. And go.
I would like to, if it's okay with you, I'd like to do a past life with me and Samson for our best healing.
Okay. All right. What's the God's honest truth? Jennifer wants to do a past life healing with our dog Samson and her. And she wants to know the connection between Samson and her. And for their best healing. Thank you, God, for these gifts now, please, for Samson and Jennifer. God's honest truth. Holy shit. This is wild. I get this incredible vision. I get this mad war in the mountains in China. Okay? In like, wow, again. It's like 1542 comes in for you constantly. 1542. What was it? What was Jameson? 1546?
1549? I don't remember.
Yeah. All right, but it's like this time frame. 1542 is what comes in, but I'm seeing huge, like an avalanche, like snow coming down, massive warrior fighting. And this is you and Samson is actually, what do you think Samson is?
A bear.
No. Samson is a horse.
That's funny.
Samson is a horse. Samson in this lifetime is a horse. Normally we consider him to be a bear. But if you look at him now, since the sickness stuff has been happening, he is morphing more into a horse, and you can see it in him, than a bear. Okay? Wow. It's in his physical energy. So it's great that you brought this up, because this is in his physical energy, and this is about his healing, because I see you and him, you're riding on him, and he is it's almost like, I think there's a horse called a bay, and they're big horses, but they're powerful, but I feel like it's like a cross between like a bay or a draft horse, because I feel his hooves and tons of fur, so that there's like a draft horse energy, but he's like a chestnut and black color. Chestnut in black, and he's massive, and he's coming down the mountain, and you're riding on him, and there's massive snow and like an avalanche. It's incredible energy here, incredible energy.
You know, I'm like,
yeah, and I'm like, what is this image, God? What is this image? So this is talking about a past life of Jennifer's with Samson, the dog. Hold on a minute, I'm just seeing what this is about. Wow. Yeah. Holy shit. Because like I feel this is a battle plan that, because when I'm seeing the armies come, and then there is like a massive avalanche, and I see him, and he's like, you know, and you're on him, and then boom, you're buried in the snow, and you're gone. And this is wild. This is wild. Oh my God. Okay, so how does that relate to their healing for now and what's going on now, please God? Because this is, if I get into this lifetime, this is the image that is the most powerful image that is representing this whole little movie that they're showing me is totally what we need to know here to heal this. Do you understand? So you don't have to know the whole lifetime. You just have to know the bits and pieces. And I feel this is buried by the snow, being warriors. The whole war effort went down the drain. Hold on. And out of that lifetime, he became a bear. He became a bear. Holy shit. Because he feels he is not strong and powerful enough as a horse. All right? And he has a lot of emotions wrapped up in this.
I love him.
I know. I love him too. See, animals have psychological stuff going on in their souls too. Anybody tells me that animals don't feel? No, animals feel way more than most people do. That's why so many people are so fucking sick. Physically, mentally, and in all ways. Wow. And I'm asking them, this is why he looks like a horse. This is why the sickness has come in. Because he can't really stay a bear. Because underneath him, he's not really dealing with his emotional stuff.
Oh no.
Don't say that.
That's Aries, the warrior. Do you know what that was? That was me pointing to Jen. Because underneath it all, he's not dealing with his stuff. And Jennifer's saying she's not home. So this, so he's not dealing with his emotional stuff. This is why he's become like morphed into a horse and become like an emotional marshmallow, even though he was a bear. This is about healing those emotional spaces. And when he comes out of that, he's really going to be a bear. But this is about your emotional healing as the warrior as well. Your emotional healing. Yeah. Can't power through. The avalanche taught us that. Can't always power through.
Oh my God.
Yeah, avalanche, right? Crazy shit, right? Whoa. Okay, so let's ask for a big clearing, healing, and changes on all of this and all of our time together for everybody here on our show tonight, and for all who visited after and whenever. All energy that is all of this, God, thank you for us connecting to it emotionally and all that it is. Thank you for us feeling it, healing it, processing it, clearing it, and releasing it, and being free of it now, please. And in place of this, put the best way to be from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality and all that it is. Thank you, God, for these gifts for Samson, Jennifer, me, and all. And for these gifts for all of us, if we so desire them, as well as the best clearing, healing, changes, gifts, tools, and everything from our whole show tonight. For everybody here now, please, from love. And that which is love in the purest form and abundance, that is in the purest form of love, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for these gifts in our souls and in all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is in the best way for us and all or something better. And thank you, God, for that, for us. Whoa. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We will see you next Wednesday at 7:15. I think it's in December. Holiday time. Yay. Okay, so we'll see you then. Thanks all for coming. Thanks for your donations. Thanks for sharing what we do. Thanks for everything. And guys, God bless you all. Many blessings, and keep working with love.